What you want to do is you want to grab a screwdriver, put a screwdriver in the brake pad where it comes through on the other side, right over here, right in this area right here it'll come through, and you just keep slight pressure on it and you'll see that the caliper slowly pushes the piston back into the bore where it's supposed to be. There's lots of different tools you can use to do this, but this just makes it a little bit easier. Next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the caliper slides back and forth on these pins right here, because these are the slide pins. That's very important. If it doesn't slide, you're going to have a problem, and it slides pretty well. So let's take these bolts out, and we're going to remove the caliper right now. Now, taking out the bottom bolt is a little bit difficult to get in there with the ratchet, but you can get in there with a wrench and use the box end, and that'll work perfectly. Before you take this one out totally, loosen the top one. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, you'll take the two bolts out totally. Okay, then you just take the caliper and you relocate it to the side. Then we're going to take out two bolts that are up underneath here. One of them's here, and the other one is up inside this way here, which makes it a little bit difficult to get to. You need an extension and a socket. So let me take these two bolts out, and we're going to take this mounting bracket off of here. Again, hold on to the bolt because we're going to need it. Now this bracket comes right off. And as you'll notice, the rotor most of the time is pretty tight on there. But what you can do is you just take a bolt like this, you screw it into the rotor right here. There's a hole in the rotor already, and then you tighten it in, and you can take it out. And you see the rotor pushes right off. Alright, then just take the rotor off, and then we're going to discard it, we're going to replace it with the new one. Normally what you would do is you would clean up the face here to make sure it's a smooth surface, but in this case it is nice and clean. You put your replacement rotor on, it just slides right over the top like that. Sometimes you'll find that the brake pads are actually pretty rusted inside here, like these here now, you can see. They're pretty rusted. So you can just tap on it with a hammer, and they fall right out. Same thing on this side here. Okay, and they just fall right out. Alright, next thing you want to do is you want to lubricate these pins here, these slide pins. And you just put a little bit of grease, like that, and you put it back in, and that assures the caliper a nice, smooth slide when you step on it and release it. Same thing on this one here, just grease it up a little bit. And put it back in, and you'll see it slides nice and easy the way it's supposed to. Alright. Next thing you want to do is you want to lubricate where the brake pad is going to touch, like this. Okay? That way the brake pad doesn't stick in the caliper and it slides and releases as it's supposed to. Alright? What I always do is it's easier to put the brake pads on here than in the car, so just slide the brake pads into where it belongs. same thing on this one here. Just put it in and turn it. And it goes perfectly. And then as you can see, they slide back and forth the way they're supposed to. Alright, let's get it back on the car now and get this job wrapped up. Next, we put our bracket back up on top of the rotor and we line it up with the holes that the mounting bracket attaches to. We catch both bolts in there loosely by hand before we tighten them up. Once we have them both top and bottom bolt caught by hand, then we can get in there with the ratchet and we can tighten it up all the way. We'll tighten the top bolt up tight. Okay. Now that we've got the mounting bracket tight and the brake pads are in, we're going to put the caliper back on. And we've already pushed the piston in a little way. And we just put it in here like this and slide it over the brake pads. And then we're going to put in the 2 bolts that we previously took out of the caliper. Just tighten up the bolts, and you can either use the ratchet on the top one because it's easy to get to. And the bottom one is a little bit crooked, so we're going to use a wrench on that one. Remember, open-handed. And that's it. You're all set.